Hi, welcome back to the Saturday edition of Phoenixdreams, SpeakWrite with Sid. What we're going to do today is we're going to take a few English words that are a bit strange, a bit weird in spelling as well as in pronunciation. So it'll be a bit of fun because there'll be some surprises that are in store for you. But to begin with, I want to start with some geography. And there are some of you out here who watching this video, if you're watching this video, who will identify and remember what I'm talking about. So yeah, let's jump into that geography. I have a question for you. Name the 7 continents on the earth. So I'll give you a few seconds to think about that. The 7 different continents in the world on earth, right? So think. Right, so I hope most of you have the answer by now, and I'll give it to you. The 7 continents are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia, and the 7th one is at the bottom of the earth, around the South Pole. So I want you to again think, if you haven't already listed that, what is the 7th continent? Yes, you must have said it. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to spell it in your mind. Go ahead. I guess you're done. Now, what I think, and I might be wrong, that a lot of you will have spelled that word as the way I'm saying it. You will have spelled it as Antartica, Antarctica, isn't it? Well, those of you who haven't, congratulations, because the actual spelling of this continent, which is at the southmost pole or the south pole of the world, is Antarctica. It is also pronounced that way, by the way. It is not Antarctica, it is Antarctica. That's the 7th continent, Antarctica. And there's an interesting and very useful information as to why it is called Antarctica. It's a very simple reason. You see, the region on the top of the earth near the North Pole is the Arctic region. So the region at the opposite end of the Arctic region is the opposite of Arctic, so it is anti-Arctic, Antarctic. So that continent is known as Antarctica, right? So that was the first bit of information which we know it gets mispronounced, misspelled. First word which gets mispronounced and misspelled lots of times. I'm going to talk about 5 words more today, and at the end of this video I'll also put up a slide where I will mention the 6 words, their meanings in brief, and the way they are spelt and the way they are pronounced. So I'll put the right spelling and the phonetic spelling, which will help you hear and say the words right in the future, right? Okay, the second word I'm going to talk about is conscience. Now, the meaning of the word first, conscience, basically means your own moral sense of right and wrong. So conscience, as you hear it, you would think the spelling would be Conshence, conscience, but that's not how it is actually spelled. It is said as conscience, but the spelling is conscience, the science that we study. So it's Conscience. So if you were just to read it, you would think it is conscience, but no, it's not. It's conscience, your moral sense of right or wrong. So that's conscience. The next word I'm going to talk about is indite. Now, indite, the meaning of the word, the indite that I'm talking about, is to accuse somebody of a crime officially. Now, again, the way you hear it, you would think that the spelling is Indite, but the indite I'm talking about, the actual spelling of that is Indict. So if you read it, you would think it is indict, but no, the C is silent and it's spelled as if there's an E in the end. So it's indite. Indict is indite. Then we talk about one word which is commonly misspelled and mispronounced, and that is liaison. Now, many of you, I've heard in my conversations with people, call this as liaison. The meaning of the word is when 2 or more people or groups cooperate or collaborate with each other, it is called liaison. Liaison. Most people, like I said, call it liaison. It is liaison. The spelling of that also is interesting. Many people misspell it as Liason, and that's why they call it liaison. It is not liaison, nor is the spelling what I said. It is actually Liaison. So it's liaison. It's originally a French word, and that's why the N in the word in the end is not really said. It's just a sound. It's liaison. Right, so that was the fourth one. Then there is another very commonly mispronounced and misspelled word, which is mortgage. Now the way I said it, you would think that the spelling is morgage. The spelling of that word is mortgage, which is why many people call it mortgage. So it is spelled mortgage, but the way it is said or pronounced is the T is silent, mortgage. And again, it's not gauge, it's gauge, mortgage. What a mortgage means is a equity loan, a loan on real estate or property or on homes. It is more popularly an American term, not used so much in India, but yeah, it is getting popularity in the Indian parlance as well, in loan parlance. So it's mortgage. Right, and the last word I'm going to use today, I'm going to talk about today, is linked to the title of this edition of my channel, which is SpeakWrite with Sid, and that's why the last word I've selected today is playwright. Now, who is a playwright? SpeakWrite, playwright. Okay, so a playwright is a person who writes plays, a person who writes scripts of plays. Writes, W-R-I-T-E-S, writes, is known as a playwright. So you would think that playwright is spelled as P-L-A-W-R-I-T-E or a playwriter, but it's called a playwright. And the spelling of that is P-L-A-Y-W-R-I-G-H-T. Even though it actually means writing, the spelling of the write changes to W-R-I-G-H-T. Right? So those are some weird and interesting words in English which are pronounced and spelled quite unexpectedly, quite surprisingly. Once again, let me repeat them once. Antarctica, conshense, indite, liaison, mortgage, and playwright. Right? Now, like I said, please have a look at the slide after the video, so you get the words, the spellings, and their pronunciations. Thank you very much for your time. If you, as usual, if you liked what you saw, liked what you watched, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, and see you soon. SpeakWrite with Sid, Episode 3. Spellings and Phonetics. Starting with Antarctica. Antarctica. Conscience. Indite. Liaison. Mortgage. Playwright.